All right. Turn the fan off. Okay. So today we'll do neck and wrist stuff. I don't know about you, but my forearm, especially if we're working on the computer all day, the wrist, the forearm, carpal tunnel, all of this becomes really tight. So any or all of this you can do, every day. All right, so let's start out by warming up the wrists and taking our hands and just opening and closing them as fast as you can. Just getting the blood flowing into the forearms and the wrist here. Maybe we take our hands up high over our head. Open, close, open, close, open, close for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Shake it out. Side to side, up and down. Can you do one side to side and one up and down? Can you switch it to the other one? That's your brain teaser for the day. And roll it out. And changing directions. And interlacing, these are all ones that that are pretty popular. I'm gonna try to show you some wrist mobility and movement that are not as common. And release. All right. So let's go ahead and come to all fours and placing our hands on the ground, palms onto the ground, fingertips facing away from you, and just begin to rock forward and back gently. Now, if anything bothers you or if you feel any pinching, don't do it or stop, or be mindful that you don't put too much weight on it if it doesn't feel good. The wrist is made up of a lot of ligaments, and when you tweak a ligament, ligaments take longer to heal. I tweaked my wrist once, I placed it down wrong, and it took, I don't know, probably like 9 months for it to heal. So I'm just kind of very wary, with the wrist, especially when I do a lot of yoga. It's really hard to not be able to be on your wrist. Okay, now come side to side. And then go into a circle. Just nice and gentle, not fast. Just nice and gentle. And switching directions. Now the other thing too, you'll notice that when my hands are down here, and this is more for, if you do yoga or you do down dog, a lot of times what happens with our wrists is that we end up dumping a lot of weight into them. And it's a very small area to actually put a lot of weight in. And so we always need to be mindful that when we're on our hands and knees, even in all fours, there's a lot of, exercises, and all the different apps that you can do that you're on all fours. And you want to be mindful of how you're treating your wrists. And we'll go over a little bit that a little later today. So let's flip the fingers towards you. Palms down, finger towards you. And also begin to rock back. This is probably going to be tight, and forward. So go slow when you're coming back. You want to be real gentle, right? Don't go full out on the first try. Just kind of ease your muscles, ease your wrists into it. And my core is really engaged in this. I'm using my core and my knees are squeezing together to lift. So I'm not just putting all of my body weight down on my wrists. And we're going to shift the hands so that the fingers point out. And we'll go side to side. and then circle it out. So when my palms are down onto the mat, I'm actively pressing down on all 10 finger pads. So it's like, and switch directions, it's like I'm trying to leave my fingerprint imprint into the mat. I'm pressing down pretty actively into the mat with the finger pads, like the part that leaves the fingerprint. Flip the palms so that the palms are facing up and the fingers are pointing towards you. And just slowly go side to side. As you go from one side to the other, you're going to feel tight on one side, and on the other side, probably feel that in your wrist, but also in your forearm. Now come, so bend, so continue to have your fingertips pointing towards each other, palms facing up. Bend the elbows, and begin to straighten the elbows. I don't know if you'll be able to straighten them all the way. I don't know about you, but my forearms are pretty tight. Come and make a fist. Close the hands, make a fist, and then come onto your knuckles. You're going to peel the fingertips open, right? Fingertips open. Drop the back of the hands down onto the mat. Trying to keep your arms straight, or as straight as they can. And then bend the elbows, lowering the back of your hand completely down. And then come straighten the elbows. Lift the back of the hand off the mat, keeping the fingers, back of the hands, onto the mat. And then round and come into a fist. Open the hands. We're like peeling the hands back down, keeping our arms straight. This part I think is the hardest part for me. And then bend the elbows, a little bit of relief from the tightness of the forearms. Core engaged. Straighten the arms. Peel the back of the hands off the mat. Come into a fist. Open. Drop the back of the hands down. Bend the elbows. Straighten. Peel the back of the hands off, and then make a fist. So we did open. So now fingertips facing towards you, palms facing up. Elbows bent. Now slowly begin to straighten the elbows. This is probably reaching the limit. And then bend the elbows and straighten, keeping the back of the hand onto the mat. And bend and straighten. Keeping your inner thighs squeezing together, protect your low back. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. And release. Whew. That was a lot of work. I'm sweating. I'm sweating already. Okay. So as I was saying, when we're on all fours, we have a tendency to dump all of the way down. I mean, no one typically goes through and instructs us, how do we be on all fours? What muscles do we need to be on? So go ahead and come to all fours. Spread the fingertips, spread the palms. You might have heard like to, be like a bird and claw the mat. But what does that really mean? So if you imagine, right, we talked about the fingertips pressing down like you're trying to really leave your mark. You're trying to really leave your mark, pressing the finger pads down. But there's more to it than that. So summer's almost over, but I want you to pretend that you're in a swimming pool and you're splashing water to your friend in the pool or to your kids. So actively, like you're flicking water towards me. That amount of energy, the amount of tension, the amount of energy in your hand That is why our hands should be when we're on all fours or in down dog or when our hands are down, because this allows the engagement of the arms and less dumping of the weight into your wrists. The other thing is when we're placing our hands down, you want to imagine that you have like a branch, a twig, a pencil, a pen. So let's place your right hand down. Left hand, place your left finger onto the palm and place it down like you're trying, like your finger is like a pencil and you're trying to break the pencil. You notice that your forearm became much more active because you're trying to break a pencil. Don't break your hand, but it becomes a lot more active. The fingerprint, you're pressing the finger pads down actively and you're pressing down against your finger. So go ahead and come back up, take the finger out of it and do it again with the imaginary pencil. And wrap your free hand around your forearm and feel the engagement of your forearm. And that is like the muscles around your forearm should be wrapping around your arm like a ribbon, activating that. And notice how much more activation. I mean, it's almost like your hand is like a suction cup. I mean, you can kind of think of it like, the claws of a bird. But there's so much more when you think about actually trying to like really press down into your imaginary pencil. Now let's try it with the other side. And I don't know if you noticed that this was so much more active, and it'll take time to find those muscles, but this was so much more active, protecting the wrist and actually strengthening the muscles around to get more mobility and strength in your hand. So other hand, left hand, right finger presses down. Remember, finger pads press down. Claw the mat, press down on the finger pads, leave that fingerprint imprint. Press, 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 remove the finger, free hand presses around or wraps around the forearm to feel the engagement. And you actually should feel like there's less weight on the wrists and the wrists are more protected. So both hands, energy through both hands. Place the hands down, claw the mat, fingerprints down, and press, spring, press, 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 press. Now to add to it, if you have a regular yoga practice, the additional thing, totally optional, is that my knuckles are pulling up. And what do I mean by that? And I'll come a little closer. So if this was the mat and my hand was here, my knuckles, not good on paper, my knuckles are actually pulling up. I'm actually dragging my finger this way, and my knuckles are pulling up to the sky. So that's kind of a little bit more advanced. Can you see that? How the fingertips are pressing down, but the knuckles are pulling up for anytime that I'm on all fours. And that gives you a lot more strength and protects your wrists as well. Okay, that's a lot on the wrists for today. All right, from here, let's come into prayer, and you can switch from one side to the other. So from, let's see, this is your right side, peeling your fingers back, pressing the palm. So it's not just a passive move. It's actually when you're pushing down on this hand that's stretching the right side, take the right fingers and push forward. So we're active on both sides. We're active on both sides. And the thumb usually gets a little left out because it's a little shorter. You can take your free hand, pull the thumb back, but the same thing, we're pushing the right thumb forward as you use your left hand to pull the thumb back. So you can get a little bit more of an active stretch and release. Other side. Palm, this is left palm, presses forward, peeling the fingers back, but instead we're going to add, using that left fingers, we're going to push forward. My left fingers are pushing forward as my right hand is pulling back, or your right hand is pulling back. And you can feel more intensity in the stretch. So same thing with the thumb. So you're pulling the thumb back as you push the thumb into that other opposite palm. and release, release. Now, if it's available to you to take reverse prayer or reverse namaste, so over here, reverse namaste is when you take your hands in prayer behind you. So this requires wrist opening, forearm opening, shoulder opening. If this is not available to you, you can clasp opposite elbows, roll the shoulders back and down, and lift the chest, sternum forward, chest up towards the sky, and peel the shoulders open. Otherwise, you can take reverse prayer, and the goal is to keep walking your fingers up your back and keeping your elbows open. So pulling your elbows back and less about your rounding to the back. So lift, lift, lift. So a baby back bend, cobra, chest up towards the sky. Either that or you're clasping opposite elbows. Okay. And carefully come out of that and release. And just kind of roll, roll, roll. Roll the wrists. All right, so let's see how much time we have. Okay, so with your neck, you can either stay kneeling or take seated. Crawl your left hand away from you as you drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Use your right hand to help guide your neck down. Diagonally forward. And then take that free arm and back circles, nice and slow, just to get some mobility in that upper shoulder, which is where a lot of tension is usually held or stored, and changing directions. Maybe you hear some bone crunching. I definitely hear some bone crunching going this way. And release. Take the hands behind the head, add a little weight. Gently press and stretch the neck. Use the back of the head to press against the hand. This should activate your upper back, reminding you to activate those muscles in your upper back so your poor neck muscles aren't carrying the majority of the weight and the burden. And then come back down, tuck the chin to the chest, passive stretch, use gravity and the weight of your hands, and then drop the right hand down, left arm, left ear, diagonally down. Crawl the fingertips away, get that stretch in the upper left shoulder, and then slow circles. And then switching directions. And release. Sitting up nice and tall, head back. And forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Three, two, one. Take it gently to the left and to the right, shoulders down, left, inhale, right, inhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And come back to center. Drop your ear to the right and left. Right, left. Inhale, exhale. I can definitely hear more crunching in my neck going side to side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. And come back to center. Now we get to do our duck. That's okay, it's just us, right? No one's watching. Forward, I can't even see you guys. Forward, back. So we don't line, we bringing our, spine over our, alignment, because normally we have our head forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. So we want to keep our chin parallel to the ground, and forward, back, now I feel like, now I've got the song like Walk Like an Egyptian in my head. Am I dating myself? And then make a circle, like your chin is drawing a circle. But your chin stays parallel to the ground. And then changing directions. I'm hearing a whole lot of crunchiness going on in my neck. That's for sure. We're getting the cobwebs out. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, exhale. Come down for child's pose. Nice deep breath. Come forward onto our belly. Cobra, roll your shoulders back and down. So keep the chin tucked. So we're so used to lifting with our chin and craning our neck. We want to find length in our neck. So the goal, imagine you had eyeballs at the top of your head. You want the eyeballs to reach forward or at the top of your head. You want the crown of the head to reach forward, not your actual eyeballs. And you want to reach with the top of the head. Top of the head, top of the head. Roll the shoulders back and down, squeeze the shoulder blades. So this is training your upper back to lift instead of your neck. And come down. Inhale, come up. Reach the top of the head forward, tuck the chin. Imagine you're holding a marble underneath your chin and you don't want to let it go. Feel your upper back engage, 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 taking the tension out of the neck. And release and press it back to child's pose. Inhale, come on up back to kneeling. Inhale, big breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch, drawing the hands down to heart center. Thank you very much. Namaste.